Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on this Aston Martin rebuild. So far we've bought the car, took it back to the garage, inspected it, turned out to be an absolute disaster, something wrong with the engine. So we've taken all the mechanicals out of the car, and in this episode we're actually going to start stripping the engine to try and figure out what's wrong with it. There's clearly something majorly wrong, and unfortunately we didn't know about it until we got the car back to the workshop and we started actually having a look. So if you like this sort of thing, then do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with others. We'd love it to go out to other people who might be interested in it as well. But without any further ado, let's jump in and start stripping that engine. So I guess what they're going to start with is actually draining the oil. We didn't do that with the car and the engine, and although they've taken the filter out itself, they're now just going to drain the oil, and then they'll be able to start stripping the engine. So hopefully later today we will have a better idea on what the engine situation is like. So they're just draining the oil, and as they undid the nuts, you could hear little bits of metal coming out with the oil as well. But again, that was expected, and you probably can't pick it up on the camera, but there's a little bit of a colouring to the oil. Maybe over here you can just about pick it up. We think it's probably from the bearing. But again, that was kind of expected. So this would be the crankshaft bearing, but nothing unexpected over there so far. So while we're just waiting for this, I thought I'd just mention this because as we were taking the engine out, one of the guys, he said, this is the same as a Ford engine. And I said, yeah, it's based on the Ford engine. They made a V6, I think it is, and this is a V12. And he was saying that it's exactly the same. So for example, that is a Ford water pump. In actual fact, it's got Ford markings on it as well. He said this part of the engine here is exactly the same. The bearings are exactly the same, the pulleys and everything like that. There's no difference at all. And it got me thinking, because if you look at it from over here, the engine mount is kind of just below the second bank. So if this is a V12, that would kind of be up to there, and the engine mount itself would kind of be in the middle of the engine. But obviously here we've got 6 more cylinders, 3 more in the bank on each bank. So this is slightly now offset from the center. The center would be more like over here. So it got me thinking that there's a lot of truth in that this was the original Ford engine. I mean, the pistons straight out of a Ford. Now the interesting thing is that we've always thought of it as a Ford Mondeo, but he looked at that and he said that's from a Ford Explorer, which is an SUV, or a Crown Victoria. I think he was saying the front of this is all Ford Explorer. The good thing is that here over in Saudi Arabia, Fords are very, very popular cars. So getting parts for this, for the engine, will actually make it a little bit easier, given the fact that it is based on a Ford, because we'll be able to pick up the parts over here as opposed to getting Aston Martin parts. Even the oil filter, as he was removing it, he said, "Oh, this is a Ford oil filter," and we've always looked at it as being an Aston Martin oil filter because it's got the logo on it. But in actual fact, it's a Ford oil filter, so I don't even need to order that from the UK anymore. I can actually just pick it up from a local supplier over here, and it'll be as cheap as peanuts. So interesting, and what I will do is I will sort of document all the bits that are sort of Ford related on the car, and it's not just related to this. Is that as he was looking at suspension bits and things like that, he was saying that that's also Ford. So be interesting once we've gone over the whole car. So there's something I want to say, which is probably going to be a little bit controversial for some, but in order to get this done, I've got to work with the places and the methods that they have over here. So you might find that we're doing things in a slightly unconventional way. If I was doing this in a UK workshop, then I would, have sort of a dust-free environment and all of that kind of stuff. And the thing is, obviously, we're going to make sure that no dust goes inside the engine. But this is a bit of a dusty environment. So like behind me, you see shelves of things covered in dust. The engine itself is covered in dust, and we will address all of that. But I just wanted to sort of mention that, because the thing is, you kind of have to work with what you have over here. And although when the engine is put back together, it will be put back together properly. This is kind of the environment that we have. I'm not going to be taking any shortcuts though, so it's not going to sort of be bodged back together. It's all going to be done according to specifications, right torque settings and all of that. And with regards to the body repair as well, going to do that properly as well. Replace, because it's aluminium, you can't really repair things, not a huge amount anyway. So I just wanted to mention that, because a lot of people might be looking at this and sort of saying, oh well, it's going to be welded together with Nissan parts or something like that, and that's not going to be the case. It is going to be done properly. Okay, so the heads come off. As you can see, we've got all the spark plugs and the coils out already, and now we take off the heads. Sorry? It's good.
The same for this rocker arms.
Sorry, what's that?
The same for the Ford. From Victoria.
Same as Ford.
This rocker arms.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go, more Ford parts. Interesting. Starting to strip it down now, so it's interesting though that this guy, as soon as he sees it, he knows that it's a Ford part, which does make life easier, as I mentioned before, because we can we can find the parts over here very easily and cheaply, as opposed to having to order it from Aston Martin in the UK. So these gaskets will obviously be custom to Aston Martin, because the Ford block was V8, V6. But there we go. So now what we have to do is take all of this off. Got the valve springs there. You can see this is the air intake, this is the exhaust side, and he's saying that even the gears at the front are the same, they're from Ford, but the Ford ones do not have it marked, so you can see intake left hand, there you go, so you can see intake left hand, and that's exhaust left hand. The Ford gears don't have those markings, the Aston Martin ones do, but essentially they're the same. There's no real difference. But well, that's the flywheel off. So now they're just taking off the what's it called? The crank pulley, I think, off the front end. So the engine's just come apart, and we're just sort of having a look, stripping it down. So far it looks okay, nothing major, which is good news. I mean, obviously apart from the apart from the metal that came out with the oil as we drained it, other than that everything else seems to be pretty good so far. So we're going to continue stripping the engine down. They're doing really well, considering 3 hours ago this was just sitting underneath the car with all the other mechanicals, and now it's semi-stripped down. So hoping by the end of today to be able to get to see the bottom of the engine, and then we will then know what sort of damage we have. So I just want to show you this because the engine actually has the markings. So you can see on the gear and then on the chain, it's got the markings for TDC. So that's particularly helpful. And then down there as well. So that is particularly helpful. I mean, they've just set it to TDC and then they've been able to then check it against the markings as well, which is really, really good. So now they can start to strip the engine. So it's coming along. They're taking it off from this side, and now they're just loosening it all from this side, stripping the engine down, just taking out the lifters from over there. So it's coming along. Stripping it is the easy bit. It's putting it back together and making sure it's all put back together fine and torqued properly. That's the more challenging bit. So next step is to remove all these bolts. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 bolts. And so just remove all of them from this side and the other side. This side obviously take off the heads from this side. And then we'll be able to see what the real damage is like underneath there. Expecting damage on this side here. So this is closest to the cabin of the car. This is the back of the engine, that's the front. So expecting damage here and here. Coming off.
Okay. Oh.
Wow. Where is my piston? Somebody nicked my piston. There's a bit of scoring on here as well, but that will be the soot from the unburnt petrol. But the good news is it's not there, as opposed to being stuck. Bad news is what's going on inside. So that's part one of the video. As I wanted to show you all the individual parts of exactly what we did as we were stripping the car. Part two, we actually strip it out completely and have a look at the damage that's there and try and figure out what we're going to do to get this car back on the road. It's not looking good, but I'm so determined to actually get the car back on the road so we've just decided to keep pushing on and try and figure out how to actually repair this car. So look out for part two. If you haven't already done so, do subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next episode. We've got bits flying out of the engine. Wow. Look at that. Look at that.